Let's get into some of the predictions from last week. So Dirty had predicted that he would be the only BlackRock to defeat Death. This did not happen because the man on screen
laid
the beat down on Cooter.
Dirty, I said no. No.
Brian personally handed you up. Sorry, man. But your Seahawks did get the win. I feel like every time you predict they're going to win, they do. Cools, man, you just riddled yourself with X's last week. You predicted that Thorne would lose badly. That's an X. That you would win. That's another X. You also predicted that Cleveland would put the stomping on the Steelers, and that was actually such a missed call that half of your team got fired as a result of that game. So, you know what? That was probably the best thing that could have happened to you. I mean, what was your coach, like 3-31 and like a tie? I wouldn't want that guy coaching my team.
No, that guy is awful.
Man, how do you last 3 seasons?
Okay.
What's that?
Is it Hugh Jackson?
Hugh Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, my good Lord. Well, congratulations, Dave. You have a new coach.
Was there anyone? Oh, no, Thorin made a prediction as well. So, Thorin, you said that Bortles would get 30-plus points. I didn't even look to see if that happened. I'm almost just going to guarantee it didn't.
I don't think it did.
No, Bortles. Oh, Brian, you had a prediction last week, too. You said that you would have the highest score on the week, and that belongs to Rick.
Yeah, I got ricked. And the one thing, though, I did start off 2 players on Monday night, or Thursday night, I mean, and I ended up with like 45 points, which happened to me about 3 or 4 times this season in reverse, right? So it was kind of nice to be on the other end of that for once.
It is nice, so, yeah.
Sorry, Cooter.
In my experience, when I actually drop a 30 bomb on someone Thursday, they always come back and beat me on Sunday with, like, you know, just a roster that blows up. So at least you got the win this time.
Yeah.
I also want to point out that I think Rick has gotten the high score 3 times so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
And we got like 6 games left.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. I think when you look back at the people who have scored a high 3 times in a row, they almost always go on to win the championship.
Ooh, that'll be interesting to look at.
Silent didn't actually make a post. Oh, but since I'm on video with you, I wanted to talk about that trade that you guys made last week.
Oh, okay.
I take your word for it. You know, he didn't know this video was coming out that was going to like kind of trash talk him for never making trades, and then you guys kind of worked one out together, which happened to be the week that we played each other. But
right. Well, you still beat him, but I think the trade still helped him.
The trade helped him.
Yeah, and I think it's going to help him. You know, I try to look for trades when I do my trades. I try to look for what do I have to offer somebody to get what I can get that's going to help us both, right? And he was in dire need of a running back. A lot of teams were, and a few other people turned me down. So, whatever. I think it's going to work out for Silent. But we were talking the day before because we have WhatsApp and he's on there, and so I was trying to get AJ Green, and he's telling me how everybody sends him offers for AJ Green, and so I sent him the same thing, you know, for Robert Woods. Yeah. And for me, I mean, it's still an upgrade, you know. I don't even know if I wanted Green because, I mean, of course I want Green, but, you know, because I have Mixon, I don't like having 2 guys on the same team, 2 skill position guys.
Although
I kind of like Woods.
I've done the research, and that isn't a problem, as it turns out.
Okay.
You know, the 2 guys on my hat right here, they seem to have a pretty good relationship with one another. But, yeah, honestly, I think that trade was more on Silent's side. I think he got the benefit there. I understand what you were doing. You just wanted like another kick-ass wide receiver, which Robert Woods is, being on the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good that they are.
Yeah.
But you gave him the better piece, especially in the long run, because he's a keeper. I think, even though Cook is injured this year, he eventually will be the starter for the Vikings, and probably for a good like 3 or 4 years. He might be a good running back.
Yeah.
Granted, Mixon is the better running back of the two, so I understand you would, hold him on your roster and keep him for a while.
Right. Yeah. Mixon was going to be my keeper, and Drake is a good RB2. And would I like to have two RB1s? Yeah, but like, how long am I going to wait and keep holding three running backs that I can't play? So at some point, I got to make a move and trade them off. And maybe I gave up too much. Who knows? But it's hard to say because Cook's not playing right now, even though they're resting him till after his bye. And then I gave Murray, who's the backup, right? Who's pretty much a RB1 when Cook's out. So
yeah, he's like the James Conner of the Vikings. He's just kicking ass while the other guy's out of town or whatever. So Silent, look what that just did for you, man. You got a keeper, you got a starting running back while that keeper is healing. You got more points out of your week. Keep doing what you're doing. I was kind of worried that you guys made that trade when we were playing each other, but I happened to get the win. Good game. I know I talk a lot of trash, but good game. I like you, and I wish you some good wins moving forward. All right, let's move on.
But yeah, to your point though, you got to trade to win in this league. I mean, you got to make moves. You can't just sit on pieces that don't give you any production. So I hope it works out for me too.
Yeah.
But of course, I lose my other wide receiver that same week. So now I'm back down to one starting receiver. But
I think Robert Woods is a good guy. You can stream that second wide receiver position, and you've actually won a couple games. Like you were concerned about Toilet Bowl, which I thought was it's too early in the season for that, and sure enough, you kind of turned it around. Now you're almost looking at like, if I keep winning 3-4 more times, I have a shot at A bracket all of a sudden.
So if we want to talk about that real quick, I am looking at that, and it's tough. You start your season out 0-4, and not because my team sucked. I just had a bad schedule, right? So I knew my team was a little better than my record was, but my record's what it is, right? So trying to climb your way back up, and then you end up at like 2-5, and you're like, man, I'm halfway through the season. I got 6 games left. Like the best I can get is 8-5, which is enough to get in the A bracket sometimes. But I'm like, yeah, okay, just stay out of the toilet bowl. And then I started looking at my schedule, and it's like, man, I got a bunch of cream puffs coming. Like Ty's team I play this week is like it's in shambles. Like I don't even know if the guy has like a single guy that's considered a starter. I got Thorin's team's pretty good. That's going to be the toughest of the 5. And then I got AF Kel, right? Who's like all Minnesota Vikings.
He's a free win.
Yeah, his team's like not great. Silent's going to be a little tough. And then Suey, right? Which I think I can beat both those guys. So, if I can pull off a win against Thorn, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to run the table.
Right. Do you have any bold predictions of your own?
Yeah, so I am going to say the Fitz magic continues. He's going to come out there. He's going to ball. He's going to go for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns again. And he's going to propel Skunk to a win.
All right.
I believe in the guy, and his matchup is decent. But I think he's kind of one of those matchup-proof guys. Like he'll have his Jay Fiedler days where he just throws interceptions, but when he doesn't have that day, he's Fitz magic. So I'm predicting a real Fitz magic this week.
Yeah.
So good luck, Skunk.
Okay, cool. I like that one. You know what? I'm gonna stick with the quarterback too. Actually, I'm gonna say Derek Carr. I'm going to make this difficult on you, Brian. Derek Carr gets his 4 touchdowns. He gets over 300 yards. I like the matchup. The only issue I have is that San Francisco lost their, backup quarterback, C.J. Beathard, to an injury. So now they're starting their 3rd-string guy. I don't know if they can keep pace, but that could also just be they can't even hold the ball. They can't keep a drive going. So Derek Carr, he just gets the football. He lost Amari Cooper, so he's got some wide receivers he can trust finally, and he's going to throw 4 TDs in this game on a Thursday night, and Brian's going to wish he started him.
I might still. I haven't ruled it out. I picked him up for a reason. I really don't like Ben's matchup, so
All right.
with that kind of bold prediction sitting out there now, I got to really consider it.
Definitely.
And I hear what you're saying. I was thinking about that too, about the San Francisco's offense being like so bad without their starters, but that Raiders defense is also garbage. So it may not even matter who's throwing the ball for the Niners.
That's true. There's a point there. Cool, man. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, real quick. This green stuff is freaking amazing. It looks disgusting. I think it's spinach and cream or something, like mixed up. But I got to find out what that is because I want to make some when I get home.
So it's got a really like smooth flavor to it, not necessarily acidic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's interesting. There's a real authentic Indian place in Irvine that I go to every now and then. They have that same green stuff, but it's acidic. It's like almost a vinegar. Looks exactly the same.
Yeah. It's like cool, it's creamy, it's got lots of flavor. That's the thing about Indian food, man. It's got lots of flavor.
Yeah.
I did go to a McDonald's out here. I had the Maharaja Mac. So they don't eat beef out here for the most part.
Okay.
So it's 2 chicken patties. Like it looks like a little tiny like breaded chicken patty in there. Otherwise, it's pretty much the rest of like a Big Mac, except they put jalapenos on it. Dude, that thing was so freaking good.
Wow.
I'm like, we need the Maharaja back in California, man.
Totally.
I had to stand next to Ronald McDonald and get that picture. So.
Oh, dude, for sure. And you got to try whatever the chain out there is offering.
Right.
Different.
Yeah, that's what it was. They do a lot of non-vegetarian stuff, so they had like some non-vegetarian Mac thing too. But I'm like, dude, I want the Maharaja.
That's what I would get to, Maharaja. Thanks for the interview, Bri. It was really cool to let everybody see what's going on across the world right now. This is what Val's up to.
Here, I got this last thing to finish it off. The last bold flavor of the night.
All right.
It's a paper boat chickie. I don't know what the hell this thing is. If I can open it up. Oh, it looks like a bunch of like nuts or something.
Oh.
Like a little like crushed together like toffee nut thing.
Yeah.
What is that, brittle? Like a brittle?
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Cheeky.
Good. Yeah. It's like a very nutty peanut brittle thing.
If you get your hands on more of those, bring one back. I'll grind some cheeky.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
awesome. Who do you play this week?
Oh, I play Stretch. I play Stretch.
Oh. His team's pretty awful too, isn't it?
I mean, we're both kind of hit by the apocalypse this week, so he's missing David Johnson. What's funny is he had Golden Tate, and I was like, fuck, dude, he's got some good wide receivers going against me. Then Golden Tate got traded to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia has a bye week right now, so I lucked out a little bit. And then I'm
funny.
not sure if you saw the trade that happened with my guys, right? I'm sitting on this like mess of wide receivers. I don't know what to do with Demaryius Thomas. Then all of a sudden he gets traded to Houston. Now I've got DT as the wide receiver 2 on Houston, and I've got Cortland Sutton as the wide receiver 2 on Denver. Like, it just worked out perfectly, man.
Yeah, it did work out good, especially with the Tate thing too when you're playing stretch. And then, I got involved in that too because Tate goes to the Eagles, which now kind of elevates Marvin Jones to hopefully he'll be the guy I drafted him to be. He's been like kind of the third option. Hopefully,
that's what
at least step into
saying. Yeah, Marvin Jones is now the guy over there.
So, yeah, hopefully that helps us out too.
It's nice when the trades work out in your favor. Like the NFL movement.
Yeah, and for everybody else, trade deadline I think is like November 11th. So you only got a couple more weeks. So send some offers out, bitches.
And Stretch, good night. You're going down. This is win number 4 in a row for me. Boom, boom, boom. Boom.
The boot change coming. All right, later, Nick.
Later, dude. Good
You too.
Let's go.